Okay. No, I wouldn't go. Just give me a prescription, but. Good morning. Are you Jamarian Martin? Speak up, please. And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin, in cause number 25 DCCR 0196, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of burglary of a building, and that's from October 3rd of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Do you understand what's going on?
I do.
You do? Huh?
I do. That's all.
All right. So, are you entering your plea freely and voluntarily? Did anybody make you plead guilty? No? I can't. Huh?
I said okay, freely volunteer.
He said freely and voluntarily.
Okay. Has there been any issues, Mr. Parker?
There hadn't been, Judge. No.
Mr. Martin, if I test you this morning, you can have something in your system?
Not sure.
You're not sure. Have a seat in the jury box. Let's find out.
2 weeks ago.
Tell the truth. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get amounts, the levels, right? So tell me the truth. When's the last time you smoked? That's the truth? Have you done anything else? Speak up.
I think if I'm left,
Promethazine? When's the last time you did that?
2 days ago.
What is that?
Cough syrup. Anything else with that?
Judges, obviously, up to the court's discretion, but we're definitely going to reserve the right to dismiss the ISF, properly substance abuse track.
How old are you? 19? All right, so I guess what I would rather do, I want to go ahead and get the process going if he's got a plea agreement, but I think based on his age and the nature of the type of drugs he's using, I am going to raise that bond. We'll get the pre-sentence report done, see if there's any issues with regard to substance abuse, and if there's any upfront treatment that I find necessary at that point. So let's go ahead and go through the plea. And will he waive the formal reading? I know we started it, but
He's already
we're going to go
pled
back.
guilty. He said freely and voluntarily, and that's about where you left off.
All right, and so did you plead guilty to this offense because you actually did what they charged you with? You didn't? You didn't do what they charged you with? Look at me and pay attention, all right? Okay? Everything's going to be okay, but you're young, and if you're going to be successful on any kind of probation in life, you're going to get some help early on right now so that you don't end up with a felony conviction, okay? But I need you to pay attention to my questions and listen very carefully and answer them. So, you're charged with burglary of a building. The question I asked is, did you plead guilty because you actually did that? Okay. I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker? Do you fully understand them? Just pay attention to me right now. Do you understand the papers that you signed on the computer? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you will be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? So if I go along with this agreement, you can't change your mind later. Do you understand? And it looks like the agreement's for a 4-year deferred probation, that there would be restitution ordered, which means you would have to pay back some money for any damage or whatever you stole, and they'll figure that out before sentencing. Is that your understanding? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Martin is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so we can get a pre-sentence report done. If possible, I'd like to get some type of substance abuse evaluation done and any recommendations, as well as we'll get that restitution figured out, and then we'll come back later for sentencing. Based on the nature of the plea, based on your age, and the fact that you tested positive for THC and admitted to using promethazine, I am going to raise your bond in your case to $100,000. If you make that bond, a condition of it is that you have a drug patch on at all times. So probation's going to come out to the jail, talk to you. We're going to figure out what all you need, and then we'll get you hopefully started in on this probation where you can be successful. All right? Go back with the bailiff. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Brittany Davis?
Good morning, yes.
And Miss Davis, did you get someone hired?
No, it's kind of expensive, but
Who'd you
really
ch-
expensive. I'm not even working right now. But I went through
Who'd you talk to?
the legal aid. I put in an application for legal aid.
Okay.
It's a place that help you get a lawyer, but they say it could take 6 months to a year. So
Okay. So did you talk to any other lawyers like I told you?
the first 3 that I talked to, wow, I talked to like probably 8 of them. But the lowest there goes like 2,000 to start off.
Do you have the names of the lawyers that I asked you that you talked to?
You asked me that last time. I was on.
Right. And then I reset you to talk to them more or get
Mhm.
someone hired. So
I
did you
talked to
talk
Brenshaw. I talked to, I can't name Brenshaw. There's one that's brothers.
Why wouldn't you write that down and bring it?
I wasn't expecting that I had to.
So it looks like you weren't what?
I wasn't expecting that I had to.
So if you're okay. If I tell you to go talk to some lawyers and bring me the names of the lawyers you've talked to, and you don't think you can remember them, then I would think just common sense would tell you to write them down so that you could tell me that you did what I ordered you to do so that you wouldn't go back to jail. Right?
I did do what you ordered me to do.
Okay.
The
So
first time
I ordered
I-
you to bring back the names as well, not just talk to them, but bring back who you talked to so that I know who you talked to and that you're doing what I asked you to do. Right? Right?
The cheapest ones that I've given you the last time I was here is the main ones that I was looking into.
Okay. But when you left last time, I gave you specific instructions,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Okay. So are you wearing your drug patch?
Yes, ma'am.
So it looks like back on. Second. So you tested positive since you've had that drug patch on for methamphetamine.
What is that?
What does that mean?
I don't. But what with the patch?
Mm-hmm. Looks like you tested positive for methamphetamine, cocaine.
Uh,
Hold on. Let me print it out so I can read it better. So last time you were in here, you had an issue because you had showed up with your drug patch in your hand, so they couldn't test it. So I tested you in court, and then I made you get the drug patch put on again and told you to keep it on. And then the drug patch that was put on January 25th. Which was the day before that court date. So you had one on, you had taken it in, you put it on, tested positive for methamphetamine and cocaine. Have a seat in the jury box. I'm going to have you tested this morning, and then I'll decide what to do. Thanks. Actually, come on, ma'am. Come on back up here. I know what I'm going to do. So, Ms. Davis, obviously it is a violation of your bond conditions to use any illegal substances, right? And so you tested positive for cocaine.
And this is the moment everything flips. Failing the drug test while on bond is a serious violation. Judges see it as proof that the defendant isn't following court orders. And that's why the bond just jumped to $100,000.
And methamphetamine on that drug patch, in addition to, in the past, not having it on correctly, and you didn't do what I asked you to do or ordered you to do also here. So I'm going to raise your bond at this time for those violations to $100,000. You will keep your court-appointed attorney while you're in custody. They'll be out to see you, and we'll just see what we do with your case at that point. You can go back with the bailiff.
Wow.
Ma'am, come on back in.
Oh, you want an example out of it? Let's see.
I'll make an example out of anybody. Hang on. You want to stand here?
You don't want.
You want to stand here and be disrespectful?
No,
I
just
will
want
make
you
an
to
example.
understand my situation. Like,
I don't care what your
I'm not making
situation.
no excuses.
Okay.
I take accountability.
Right. So you tested positive for methamphetamine and cocaine.
I don't know how the patch work, ma'am. I haven't been doing any drugs.
Well, you did something.
I don't know if that's like the patch pick up sweat. I don't know if that's like after the process or what, but I haven't been doing anything.
All right. Go back with the bailiff. John, Richard.
And there it is, a young life balanced on a knife's edge. In this courtroom, every word, every test, every signature matters. One wrong step, one missed detail, and freedom can slip away. But this is more than punishment. It's a lesson in accountability, in choices, in consequences. Before adulthood even fully arrives, you can feel the weight of possibility and the shadow of regret. In the end, this courtroom didn't just deliver justice. It delivered a moment to pause, reflect, and maybe, just maybe, change a life. What would you do if your next decision could define the rest of your story?